Today, we're exploring a fascinating question about the afterlife. What are the concepts of heaven and hell across different religious scriptures? By using AI, we aim to offer an impartial, evidence-based analysis of how the Bible, the Quran, and the Gita each describe heaven and hell. AI allows us to examine these texts without bias, helping us understand the similarities and differences in these views of the afterlife. Let's start with the Bible's view of heaven and hell. In Christianity, heaven is generally described as a place of eternal communion with God, while hell is depicted as a place of punishment and separation from God. In the New Testament, Jesus speaks about heaven as the kingdom of God, a place of peace, joy, and unity with the divine. In the book of Revelation, heaven is portrayed as a new Jerusalem, a city of light where God will wipe away every tear, and there will be no more death or sorrow. Revelation 21 verse 4. This description suggests a realm where suffering no longer exists, a place of ultimate comfort and fulfillment for the faithful. Hell, on the other hand, is often depicted as a place of punishment for those who reject God. In the Gospels, Jesus warns about Gehenna, a term associated with hell, where the fire is not quenched. The book of Revelation also describes a lake of fire, where the wicked are cast after judgment. Deductively, we can interpret heaven and hell in Christianity as representing the ultimate destinations of reward and punishment, based on one's relationship with God. Heaven is a promise for those who live in alignment with God's will, while hell is reserved for those who reject it. Next, let's examine the Quran's depiction of heaven and hell. In Islam, heaven, jannah, and hell, jahannam, are presented as tangible, physical places where individuals experience either reward or punishment based on their actions in life. The Quran describes Jannah as a paradise with gardens beneath which rivers flow, a place of perpetual bliss where people enjoy eternal youth, fine clothing, and companionship. Surah Al-Waqiah 56:27-40 describes the delights of Jannah, including shaded gardens, flowing rivers, and the companionship of loved ones. It's a place of peace and abundance, representing both spiritual and physical satisfaction. In contrast, Jahannam is depicted as a place of intense suffering for those who reject God's guidance. The Quran often describes Jahannam as a blazing fire with multiple levels, each offering punishment according to the severity of a person's sins. Surah An-Nisa 4:56 describes it as a place where, whenever their skins are burned through, we will replace them with other skins so they may taste the punishment. This verse emphasizes the recurring nature of suffering in hell, highlighting the consequences of turning away from God. Inductively, we can see that in Islam, the concepts of heaven and hell serve as powerful motivators for moral behavior. Jannah is portrayed as a reward for those who obey and worship God, while Jahannam is a deterrent against sinful actions. The clear, vivid descriptions of both realms are meant to reinforce accountability in this life, with heaven as a place of ultimate peace and hell as a place of intense regret. In Hinduism, particularly in the Gita, the view of heaven and hell differs from Abrahamic religions. The Bhagavad Gita doesn't describe heaven and hell as fixed eternal places in the same way. Instead, it emphasizes the concepts of karma and rebirth, where individuals experience consequences based on their actions across multiple lifetimes. While there are mentions of heavenly realms, these are often seen as temporary places of reward rather than eternal destinations. For example, in chapter 2, verse 22, the Gita compares the soul's journey through life to changing clothes. After death, the soul moves on, taking a new form based on karma. In Hindu cosmology, the concept of naraka, hell, exists as a temporary realm where souls may experience the consequences of bad karma before moving on. Similarly, svarga, heaven, is considered a temporary realm where those who perform virtuous actions may enjoy rewards. However, neither naraka nor svarga is seen as a final destination. Rather, they are part of a larger cycle of samsara, or reincarnation, where souls continually evolve and learn through different lives. Deductively, we can conclude that in Hinduism, heaven and hell are not the ultimate endpoints. The Gita's emphasis on karma and reincarnation suggests that spiritual progress is a journey, with each lifetime offering new opportunities for growth and understanding. The focus is less on permanent reward or punishment, and more on the soul's evolution toward liberation or moksha. So, How do these perspectives on heaven and hell compare across these religions? At a high level, all three texts agree that actions have consequences, and these consequences extend beyond one's physical life. Christianity and Islam both describe heaven and hell as final, eternal places of reward and punishment, with a clear distinction between the two. In contrast, Hinduism's perspective, as described in the Gita, sees heaven and hell as part of an ongoing cycle, with the ultimate goal being liberation from this cycle. From a deductive standpoint, the Abrahamic religions, Christianity and Islam, view the afterlife as the final stage, where one's life choices culminate in either eternal communion with God or separation from Him. Hinduism, however, frames the afterlife as another step in the soul's journey, where heaven and hell are temporary states rather than eternal destinations. What do these differences say about the goals and motivations of each religion? In Christianity, the goal is salvation through a relationship with God, with heaven as the ultimate reward. In Islam, the goal is submission to God's will, leading to eternal paradise as a reward for faith and obedience. Both religions emphasize the importance of one's choices in this life, framing heaven and hell as destinations that depend on one's actions. In Hinduism, the goal is spiritual enlightenment and liberation from the cycle of rebirth. Heaven and hell exist but are seen as temporary stops rather than final rewards. This perspective suggests a longer-term view of spiritual evolution, where the soul's journey is ongoing, shaped by karma across many lives. Inductively, these differences highlight each religion's unique approach to understanding life's purpose and the nature of divine justice. For Christians and Muslims, the afterlife is a definitive consequence of one's earthly life, underscoring the importance of faith and moral behavior. For Hindus, the afterlife represents a chance for reflection and progress, with the ultimate aim of transcending the cycle of rebirth altogether. So, what can we deduce from this comparative look at heaven and hell? While each religion offers a distinct view, they all convey a sense of accountability, encouraging believers to live morally and purposefully. Whether seen as eternal destinations or temporary realms, the concepts of heaven and hell serve as reminders of the consequences of our actions and the potential for growth and redemption. If this exploration provided you with fresh insights, please like this video and subscribe for more discussions on faith, philosophy, and the nature of existence. Share your thoughts in the comments. How do you interpret these different views of the afterlife? And if you know someone who would find this topic fascinating, please share this video with them. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to continuing this journey of exploration with you in the next episode.